Hello and welcome everyone to Universal Balance. My name is Tamira, and in my day job, I am a chemist, a registered yoga teacher, and more importantly, a mother.
Yes.
And who are you?
I am Tracy Turner Kaiser, and I am a licensed professional counselor supervisor and also a certified yoga instructor, along with being a body mind centering infant developmental educator and a board certified dance movement therapist. And I do a lot of soul healing work and the ceremony work that I do. And I'm also a mother, and I happen to be a grandmother to Tamira's two young children. And we are here to talk to you about using the doTERRA oils in a more spiritual and emotional component than just the physical qualities.
That's right.
Yeah.
Cool. So in the video, we are going to discuss 5 of our favorite oils that we think will be very helpful for establishing a stable foundation to do emotional and spiritual healing. We'll be talking about these oils, and we'll be also sharing with you all a few ways that we like to use these oils as far as topically diffusing and taking them in water or veggie capsules as an option. So, are you ready?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get started.
Tracy's going to tell us about the first oil, which is lemon, the oil of focus.
Yes. So this is lemon right here, and so you can see it. And lemon is one of those sunshiny lemon oils that allow you to bring in clarity and focus into your mind, and that can be really useful when you're thinking about doing spiritual and emotional work, because it's good to have a sense of focus and direction. So that way we use lemon in that way. And the best way to use lemon that way is to take it internally and to put a few drops in a glass of water. That will help kind of it wakes up the digestive system. It kind of clears things through. It helps bring in that focus. You can also, for this oil too, you can also put a few drops in your hands and take a big sniff and breathe it in deeply. So lemon is and you can also use it topically if you'd like. Although, I mean, it's certainly fine to use topical. I think using it internally and through the aroma therapy component pieces of it you're gonna get the most benefit for the focus component.
Nice. I also like using lemon personally in salt baths. They're really great to be able to soak in those oils with Epsom salt, just to kind of clear any charges in your auric field and just kind of bring everything back down.
So,
the next oil we're going to talk about is peppermint, and that's one of my favorites. I love them all. They're all my favorites. That's why we're talking about them, because they're really great. They resonate with both of us very well.
Yeah.
So peppermint is the oil of the buoyant heart. So as we go in deep and we start doing this emotional work, lemon is giving us the focus and the clarity to do that. Peppermint is really going to pull us out of those moments, those very dark and heavy moments, to pull us out and give us an emotional breather, to float on the surface of emotions and to see from a third-party perspective what is going on, and just to have a quick breath before we dive right back in. It's also really great for headaches. So it's a very, very powerful, very potent. It's got a little bit of a sharper taste if you ingest it, more so than lemon. It also has a very subtle sweetness to it. So it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, and I think peppermint also on the emotional, spiritual component is going to be really helpful in dealing with distress and intense physical, emotional, and spiritual pain. Peppermint's going to kind of wake you up and bring you back into your body and remind you that there's nothing that's going to give you that safety line. And in that way, I highly recommend that you take peppermint in a couple of drops in water as well, and or diffuse it in some coconut oil, so that you can take it put it on your skin topically.
Yeah.
Peppermint has, as Tamira said, has a little bit of a sharp edge to it, so you want to be mindful of how, if your skin is sensitive, that you might want to dilute it a little bit with some coconut oil, But it's also a really great way to just kind of breathe it in deeply. It will really help bring that clarity and ground you back into your body, because it is the oil of the buoyant heart.
Yes.
So it's going to bring you bring you back into your heart space, which is where we want to go.
Yeah.
So that's
For
peppermint.
clarity, we're diffusing it in water and applying it topically either on the skin or in coconut oil. So
Yes.
that's great. And doTERRA actually sells fractionated coconut oil, which is in a constant liquid state. You know, we get raw coconut oil from the store, and it's like a brick.
It's like a brick,
So,
unless it gets really hot outside.
yeah. So that's another great option. So let's talk about the next oil.
Yes, lavender. And lavender is the oil of communication, and it's a lovely oil that gives you a sense of security and safety. It kind of reminds you of your grandmother, reminds me of my grandmother, and that love and heart space of being lovable, being safe, being secure, and it allows you to open up and talk about what's inside your heart. And because of that, I would highly recommend just taking a few drops of lavender and putting it right on your heart space, and letting it sit and kind of be absorbed into that heart space and let it do its magic. And you can also, and you'll be able to smell it from there too. So it really helps kind of open up that heart chakra space. So with lavender, I highly recommend using it topically. And then you'll get the smell of that as well. As people say, you know, you put little drops on your pillows, can give you some sweet dreams. Which is useful too, because sometimes we need to kind of go into that space of dreaming to be able to know what's in our heart to communicate.
Exactly.
And lavender is a really good assistance in that.
Exactly. Also, to piggyback on that, I love that it's the oil of communication. If anybody out there is into chakras, that throat chakra, for opening that up, just applying a little bit just topically on the neck is just really great. It's very close to the nose, so you smell it, and it's really great with helping you speak your truth and releasing those fears around that, and feeling unseen and unheard. The vibrations of the lavender plant are really powerful for bringing you out of that.
And so the next single oil that we're going to be talking about is tea tree oil. And tea tree oil is the oil of boundaries. And it's going to help give you that clarity and set that boundary, which is really useful and productive when we're dealing with emotional and spiritual issues, trauma, to have that boundary. And as Tamara has said, it kind of takes that parasitic quality out and draws it out. So if anything feels attached, or if anything feels like it's dragging you down, or you're feeling kind of like there are other forces or sources that are not really part of who you are, that are parasitically kind of draining your energy, tea tree oil is going to really help clear that and set the boundaries. So that's particularly really useful to set that boundary, so that the lavender can help your heart communicate, and the peppermint can give you that buoyancy to be able to communicate what's in your heart, and the lemon can give you that focus. So that they're a nice combination to use one on top of each other or separately. So then those are the 4 single oils that we're talking about.
To piggyback just really quick on the tea tree oil, I love another quality for tea tree oil is that it shines a light on the part of your spirit that has allowed those parasitic relationships to happen, whether it's unworthiness or whatever you have called into your vibration field, that hole that's open. It really shines a light on that, so that you can polish that and really take the time to be in that space and to fill it with light, so it's reflecting light. So that's another wonderful thing that I love about tea tree oil.
Yeah, it's great. And when we're talking about using these oils on a spiritual, emotional level, this is when you want to kind of give yourself time and permission to let the oils do their work. So you can combine any one of those 4. You can also use them separately, and give yourself, each of themselves is very powerful separately. So you want to be able to, and if you have work that you want to do, you might want to bring that focus in by putting lemon into your water. You might want to give clarity and buoyancy to your heart by really bringing in smelling and aromatically the peppermint, and then also topically putting the lavender onto your heart space. And you may want to put a few drops of the tea tree oil around your sitting space. And so there's a way of being able to take this internally through through your water.
Veggie capsules.
Yeah, and use the peppermint kind of more to smelling and aromatically, and the lavender is more topically, and then the tea tree might actually be on a physical grounding level. And then we're going to introduce to you a blend, which is called Purity Blend, which is, I'm going to let Tamira talk to you about that, but that helps.
Yes,
Purify.
It is so amazing. So this little guy here is my favorite because another one of my favorites. It's a really great way to seal off this work that you're doing with these oils, and we're gonna talk a little bit more about that when I tell you about this last oil. This is Purify, so it's a mix of lemon, lime, citronella, cilantro, and Siberian fir. So you have all these very powerful disinfectors, by nature.
Right.
And so this is a really great way to enforce the energetic boundaries that you set forth with tea tree oil. This oil is also so great because it really pulls you into the present moment. So you have a nice clean look at what you're doing, and just to reinforce everything that has happened. So it's really great to just kind of seal it all off with that oil. So
and that's what I also like the Purify oil for, is also just putting on crystals or anything that you want cleared. Like if you want something to be energetically cleared, the Purifying is a wonderful oil to do that, and you can go ahead and put it out on the full moon or on the new moon, and use the Purify to just be able to kind of purify and cleanse. So I love that, and it's got a great smell to it as well. So
getting back to the oils, it's really important that as you use these, you remember that this is a healing process. This is not going to be done, the first day you use an oil, you're going to be healed. So just know that this is a process. It's a lifelong journey. That's why we're all here. So call that into your awareness as you're using these oils. And also, you need to be present when you're doing it. So creating a ritual or a ceremony around just being present, and when you ingest the oil, thinking about and having an intention with ingesting it. So if you're taking lemon, you're saying, I'm taking this with the intention of gaining clarity and focus, not just lemon in my water, I'm good, I did it, now what? So, and it's really great, I've found personally, is to sit with each oil one at a time. So if you spend a couple weeks maybe on one oil, build up an intention around that oil, journal about it, have a support system. Maybe you're walking out in the woods with friends, out in nature. If you're doing yoga, running, whatever.
Highly recommend the yoga.
Yeah, highly recommend the yoga. It's really great. But just anything to center yourself and to ground yourself as you do this, so that you can be open to receive what the oils are going to bring as far as healing and what they're opening up for you. It's really important to do that. Yeah.
And we did mention being moms and grandma earlier, and I just want to tell a short story about my grandchildren, which are Tamira's children, how they've been introduced to the oils, and how the youngest one will say, I need some of that, and she'll take a moment to be really mindful about it. She's running around, she's 2 years old, she's all over the place, but when she comes and wants that, she will take a moment to ground herself and take it in. And children do that instinctively, and I think that we need to remember that we too can just take even 2 seconds, 5 seconds to just ground ourselves, be mindful when we take the oil in, however it is, to let its properties take its full effect on us.
Definitely.
And we will be continuing to talk about these. We're going to try to do a video once a month on different oils, and how to use them spiritually, emotionally, and physically to help bring your life purpose and bring more mindfulness in. And so these are the oils that are kind of a great beginner kit to bring into that focus, that mindfulness, that buoyant heart, that level of being able to communicate, know your truth, to be able to set boundaries, and to purify yourself. So we love these 5 oils for that sort of beginning stages of healing.
And this is the real deal. These oils are known to be 40 to 60 times more potent than herbs alone, and they really help to raise the vibration of the physical body, the emotional body, the energetic body. It's going to bring you up. There's also some really great resources that doTERRA provides.
Yes.
Check out the website. If you go to PubMed, it's a scientific database full of scholarly articles for various studies that have been conducted. type in essential oils, and there's around maybe 12,000 or
Yeah,
so
there's a lot.
studies that have been conducted and data supporting the use of essential oils.
Yes.
So do your homework.
Right.
Be an advocate for yourself. Check this stuff out. Do your research, and if you're on medications, talk to your doctor to make sure there's no interactions, and give yourself permission to begin or continue
Yeah.
supporting your own healing work.
So
All right.
thanks
so
for joining us.
Yes, and we have a giveaway. Almost forgot.
Yeah, always the giveaway.
So for 3 wonderful people out there who like the video, share the video, comment in the section, or tell us what their favorite oil is with the hashtag UniverseSoulBalance, and that'll be in the video. We're going to send you a sampler pack to get you started on your journey to using essential oils. So the sampler pack is going to include peppermint, lavender, and tea tree oil. So yeah, share, like,
Yeah.
and we'll be back soon to talk about more oils with more themes as they arise in the collective consciousness, things
Right,
that we need to
yes,
focus on.
yeah,
So
yeah.
thank you all for tuning in again, and blessings to you all.
Cool.